Whoa, too many. All right, go ahead. Go
Good
ahead.
afternoon, guys. Welcome to the Bud Brunch. This is our first episode. Thank you for being here with us. Today we're brunching with Kush Guy.
Yes.
We got an awesome show coming up for you guys. We're gonna do some buddy news where we talk about is dabbing the new crack, to moon rock or not to moon rock, and we have some nuggets about the new dispensary coming up in Ward 7 and 8. Then we've got 420. It's our international holiday, our cannabis holiday. So we're talking about how 420 is celebrated all over the world, and then of course we have Mr. Kush God himself, exclusive interview coming up towards the end of the show, and then a soulful soundtrack by Mr. Saleh himself. Yeah. But before all that, we're gonna get to know the ladies of the Bud Brunch. First and foremost, I'm Norma Bates. Most of you guys probably know me as Norma Bates anyway. But I'm the founder of Elevated Events Group. I moved here a couple years ago to the DC area and fell in love with the cannabis community and wanted to put my spin on the internet, the cannabis entertainment industry. Yes.
Nora. And I am Lisa, also known as Grow with Lisa. And you might recognize me from Viceland Readagates, the first season, where I showed the world that I am taking advantage of Initiative 71. And if you live in a state that you can grow, you should definitely get into growing. And if you want to learn more about that, you can definitely follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, Grow with Lisa. And if I'm looking a little hotter, that's because I am a fit stoner. You can be a fit stoner with me as well. Check me out for cannabis cardio classes, and let's do this on the Bud Brunch, ladies.
All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shara G. I'm the founder of Can I Ventures, a business development firm focused on helping entrepreneurs break into the cannabis industry. So I do tons of workshops. I spread lots of knowledge on teaching people on how to be employers and not employees, and teaching economic empowerment in order to reach your goals and your dreams. So the Bud Brunch, I'm definitely ready to share some nuggets with you guys.
All right.
All right, I'm the Sativa Siren. I am the sole native Washingtonian of the group. You know, born and raised in here. I am a novelist, blogger, journalist. I pretty much am a jack of all trades, master of none. You know.
Okay. I'm gonna keep this simple. My name is Liz. I am the creator and founder of Fat Cat Catering. I am also from every weed state. I was born in California, went to high school in Colorado, and now I've been in DC for about 20 years. So I guess you can consider me a native.
All right. Hey, you guys, what's going on? I'm Chris in the clouds. And that's all you need to know. So welcome, everybody, to the Bud Brunch.
Yeah, welcome to the Bud Brunch. I hope you guys are tuning in with us. And if you all have any questions or comments for us throughout the show, make sure you tune on to our Facebook page
Absolutely.
at The Bud Brunch. And send in your questions or comments or what you have to ask for Kush Gods, because I'm sure we had a lot to say about his situation before he got locked up, and now he's free, and he is here to answer those questions for all of you. So tune in, guys, send your questions, and let us know what you would like to hear from the Kush Gods. And don't forget, we have Saleh here, and he's going to be performing for us at the end of the show. So tune in, but he'll be definitely serenading us throughout the hour.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
And we will have a full performance later on in the show. But right now, we're getting to some budding news, some trending topics in cannabis right now. And the first one I want to talk about, y'all, have y'all dabbed before? Y'all know what that is?
Yes.
I've heard of that. My daughter, she does that all the time. She is that no.
Good.
Dab on you, mom.
Dab, where you actually smoke concentrate through a rig with a blowtorch, that type of dab.
She's definitely not doing that.
No, I don't think she's doing
It's like
that.
80% at the very least, right? 80% THC on that?
It's super concentrated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I dabbed, I sat in the same spot for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
I remember I had to take a dab once at this really this social networking event, and I had to step outside because I felt like I was gonna pass out, and then I felt horrible because they thought I was being antisocial. They even came out like looking for me. They were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." I just had to step out because it was overpowering.
I threw up for 15 minutes. It was awful. No, seriously, it was rough. Like, and I had to work that night too. I mean, luckily I already cooked, but still, like.
So that's a little bit of the controversy that's going on with dabbing, because there's like a divide in the community. You know, you have to cook this stuff up, and people are blowing up houses, and it's being compared to meth, and it's just, I don't know if it's a good look for the cannabis community.
I mean, it looks like you're smoking crack. Have you ever seen it?
People pass it out in public. I mean, because they can't handle their can't handle their dab. So it's just not. It's not good for all of us.
Definitely.
But are we judging? Because, I also read an article. There's a rehab center in LA, and they actually use dabbing as a method to medicate people with addictions.
So maybe we shouldn't just be doing. Maybe we shouldn't just be doing it recreationally. Maybe it should just be medicinal.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, though, like, unlike other drugs, dabbing is still marijuana, and marijuana has never killed anybody. Neither has a dab.
That's
so, you can do it if you want to, but it's always moderation. It should be kind of the key.
Exactly, and I think it's really about education. And when it comes to DC, it's kind of like with that gray area and with the laws the way they are, and you have those people making things out of their kitchen, and you don't know what they're putting in it. Are they even doing it correctly? It just leaves for a very messy situation.
Yeah, so speaking of people making things in their kitchen, what about these moon rock things?
Oh yeah.
Because I've been seeing them a lot on the internet. They look
caviar
very
gold.
like a treat. Do you moon rock? Do you moon rock it?
I've never had one.
Moon rocket.
I've never had one.
You need to trademark that immediately.
It should be a hashtag.
I have never moonwalked. I've heard about them. I've seen them before, but I've never tried it.
I got a question. Okay, so all right, so your nug is an indica, but then you cover it in sativa oil. Then you cover it again in a hybrid. What type of high are you going to get?
You're going to get really fucked up.
That's what that sounds like to me.
Is what you're gonna get. That's what's gonna happen.
So you know that it started out as caviar gold, right? And then some guy,
Caviar gold.
yeah, that's what a lot of people call moon rocks. And then this guy rebranded it as moon rock, and there was confusion because there is a form of moon rock that has MDMA on it.
Oh.
So that's a different
Wait,
type
what
of
is
high.
MDMA for
Yeah,
people
what is
that
that?
might not know what that is?
Like ecstasy, Molly. like that
like a
kind
drug.
of yeah, like that, you know, non-natural stuff.
It's definitely not weed,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
It's chemicals.
it's chemicals.
We don't do chemicals.
I mean, but I've also heard like with moon rocks and things like people have been complaining that it's not worth it. The ones that I've seen it on the rec page. Like people are like, this is terrible.
Are they
yeah.
You know?
spraying
For the
it correctly,
price.
though? I mean, because
I mean, how do you smoke
I
it?
mean, because like you get the moon rock and like I tried, you know, just smoking it and you know out of a bong and it burned the crap out of my throat. But
Ooh.
then I ground it up and it was fine. It was, you know, I only needed like one hit and I was
But
asleep
isn't
for
the
the rest of the
appropriate
afternoon.
way to add it to your whatever it is that you're smoking? I thought it for what I heard is that it's so strong that you're not supposed to smoke it by itself. You just like take a little bit of and add it to what you do. So it's supposed to boost it because if you smoke it by yourself, it's like way too potent.
It's
I
too
say we have a
complicated.
moon rock challenge. Next show, moon rock challenge. Everybody.
It's like a lot of fun, you know.
I think
You
I'll
just started
record
something.
that.
Just make sure you do it at the end of the show because I need
The
to
Broad
be able to
March.
speak.
I'll say no to that.
Yeah, but, you know, something I'll say yes to, perhaps. So, did you all hear about the big news? Letter of intent is out for a dispensary to be located within Ward 7 and 8.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man.
The plot thickens. I
Right.
wonder if it'll be a black-owned business. who
Right,
ends
because
up-
I live in Ward 7, and that would be nice too.
yeah.
It would be
Have.
nice to have.
So, what are your thoughts like around diversity in this industry, especially when people are trying to go after these type of business?
We don't have enough
opportunities?
representation, personally. I mean, and I see this meme all the time, but it's true. Like black men have been disproportionately, I don't want to call it victimized, but they've been locked up disproportionately for weed crimes. And now, you know,
Kush
I'm
gods.
sorry, but
Hashtag Kush God.
but they, you know, now people are stepping in that are not,
Black.
you know what I'm saying, not black,
Not
and
from
they're
DC.
making millions of dollars.
So you're saying weed is becoming gentrified?
It is definitely becoming gentrified. Like, I mean, it's supposed to represent and be useful and loved by all. But let's be honest with you. The ones who really succeed are not black.
But then what do we do about it? Because we are always having this conversation.
Right.
I know yesterday there was somebody, DC Scarger was live on Facebook talking about we need to boycott. If that dispensary is not given to a black-owned person, then we shouldn't patronize not only that dispensary, but none of the dispensaries in the city.
I have to
I
agree
can
with
dig
that.
it.
I agree
I
with
think
them.
some other ways that we can start to empower ourselves is just getting access to the information. So for people out there that are interested in pursuing these type of opportunities, you really need to go to the resources that are out there, and a lot of us don't know. So if you're interested in possibly applying, the first thing you should do is read up on the regulations and the laws. And it really outlines what you need to do, what should be included in your proposal, and give you ideas on how you can build your business model within this industry. So
Nice.
when's the last time you all read your local regulations?
No.
Never.
Right.
But that's the thing. That's how you empower yourself, is by knowing how to play to win.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
this should be a really exciting time.
So
you know.
if people
It
want
is.
more information, how do they find out about it?
If you want more information about the DC Medical Marijuana Program, go to doh.dc.gov. It's the Department of Health. Just click on their Medical Marijuana Program, or you can even just Google it. And all the information is there. It tells you how many dispensaries are currently in the city, how many patients are being served, in what areas within the city. And again, it puts you in the know. So when you go after opportunities, you know what you're talking about.
Right.
So
So
you need to know.
in the meantime, between time, but there are some black dispensaries currently now that people can patronize.
Yes.
In the meantime, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So what are they?
Metropolitan Wellness Center is owned by Corey Barnett in Eastern Market, yeah. And Shonda, I believe is her name, she owns National Holistic Healing Center. So those are the two. And Corey actually owns or co-owns one of the cultivation centers, DC Growers, District
yeah.
Growers. So
Wow.
yeah, he's all over that and a nice person to get in touch with if you're interested in diversity in cannabis.
Right.
Yeah. And we don't want to exclude those other dispensaries. We definitely want to have everybody
Yeah.
go where they definitely feel comfortable, where they
Right.
definitely feel safe, and where they're most importantly going to get a quality product.
Exactly.
Hashtag no shade.
No shade at all.
I love that. But.
So, I mean, yeah. So I guess, frankly, I can't wait to see what happens with this new dispensary. I hope that we are represented well, but we are going to take a short break. And you were watching the Bud Brunch.
The Bud Brunch.
Sing
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Bud Brunch. Yeah. Woo! All right, so we're going to be joined a little bit later on and have our exclusive interview with Kush God. But first, I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart now. It is the International Puff Puff Pass time of the day, time of the year, 420. Yeah. So I was taking a look around on the internet because, I'm relatively new to the cannabis industry. So I was like, well, what's this 420 thing all about? All I know, it's a bunch of guys or people or whatever meet up and smoke and hang out, and that's all there is to it. You do it at 420 during the day. So there's a bunch of rumors out there, such as, it's a cop code for people smoking out in a car, like hotboxing or something, and then, there's a rumor about, some kids who did some stuff, or, that's just the time of day people get together. It's some magical time of the day. But what I was able to find was that there was a group of people back in the early 70s in California. Mm-hmm. God bless California. Up in, I believe it was San Rafael High School. And these guys called themselves the Waldos. And they They really didn't have that name because they were cool. They hung out at the wall and smoked a bunch of pot. So from there, they would meet up after school because there was this fabled marijuana crop off in the Point Reyes area in the Bay Area. And they would go on a token adventure. And they would toke at 420, meet at this certain place at 420, go toke, and then go on the adventure looking for this magical crop of marijuana that was supposed to be heavenly.
Did they find it?
Please tell me they found it.
No, they. Yeah, it's.
They're probably still looking for it.
Legend has it.
Legend has it in Point Reyes, there's a marijuana crop left by some Coast Guard guy. So basically, how did these four dudes get something? We'll just meet up after school and smoke and go on an adventure. How did that become?
Right, especially in the days of no internet.
Oh yeah, with
No
no
Facebook.
no interwebs,
was
no
no
Facebook,
hashtag.
no hashtags, no nothing.
Stamps.
Right. What? Yeah, you had to call people and make plans. So what happened was this one of the kids' brothers knew Lem, who was part of the Grateful Dead. Have you guys heard of the Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
I would certainly hope so.
Mr. Garcia.
Yes,
Rest in peace.
the late Mr. Garcia. So the international superstars of this rock band, this iconic rock band, the Grateful Dead, picked up the 420 information from the Waldos because I believe Lem is a bassist. Don't patronize me. I don't know exactly what he is. But he brought that into the 420 land of the Grateful Dead, and as we all know, the Grateful Dead were definitely impactful on cannabis and getting all the information out there and having wonderful festivals, even though it was way before all of our times.
Oh yeah.
But that's how it was entered into the international arena. So that's how it happened back then. But as far as like celebrating today in the international arena, is there anything that we do?
Do they celebrate in other parts of the world? Celebrate 420?
I love to travel. And so I've been to about 15 different countries, and I love to go out, experience different cultures. And obviously the weed mecca Amsterdam is probably one of my favorite places that I visited. And I visited so many cafes. I missed my flight. I had to stay an extra 8 hours, but it was cool. I just took the train back into the city, and I was right there again. So Amsterdam, they have on 420, all the cafes are open where you can openly buy cannabis and celebrate in the streets, actually, because it's fully legal. But the number one place to celebrate 420 is actually in Vancouver. They have something called the Smoke Out, and it attracts up to 30,000 people. Like, that's a lot of smokers in one place.
I'm totally down for a road trip.
So, and then another good place to go to for 420 if you are a jet setter is London. A lot of people gather in the city park and they smoke outside. And in the UK, weed is still illegal. So you have to smoke responsibly there, but it's a great place to visit. So
I kind of feel like on 420 they kind of give stoners a break in certain places.
yeah, you have to. Like, I
can't
have to
arrest
do this.
somebody.
I'm going to do this. So
Right.
yeah.
If you arrest somebody for weed on 420, like, you're the worst cop ever. Seriously.
You have no heart.
Seriously. What's going on in Colorado, though, Liz?
Oh, yeah, no, there's no place like home. So I was about to get into that. So there's about a week, being that Colorado is such a weed heavy state, their whole festivities last for about a week. So they are actually having some things that we might all be familiar with. There's going to be a munchie crawl. It's like a cannabis munchie crawl, right? They are having all types of concerts with every rapper you've ever heard of. Gucci Mane, Colorado is not ready for that. Gucci Mane is going to be there. Like, Lord have mercy. Snoop and Future are having a concert, and then they have this very large free event called the 420 Rally, and 2 Chainz, I believe, is going to be headlining that this year. And lastly, to top it all off, Wiz and Snoop are having a joint concert at the Red Rocks to basically cap everything.
That would
off.
be amazing.
Cap everything
I
off.
would love to see that.
Nice. So while Colorado is the mecca, California has been doing it way longer. They have this dope event, though, no pun intended. It's called 420 in the Park, and they actually meet on the top of this hill. They start at 10:30 a.m. Talk about wake and bake. And 420 is on a Thursday this year, so I'm guessing a lot of people won't be going to work that day. But they gather at the top of this hill, and it's just like a huge smoke out in Golden State Park. And then there's a follow-up event, talk about responsible stoners. It starts at 5, and they clean up the entire park where they just trashed it,
That's
smoking
social
all day.
responsibility.
Social responsibility. And then for the fancy cannabis goers, there's a party in LA, and they do like a casino night, and you take fake money and you can buy different stuff. But Culture Magazine is going to be there. It's in Los Angeles. But it looks like a real swanky party, my type of thing. Oh, yeah.
Well, over on the East Coast, we are little virgins to the whole legal 420 aspects. We did have some amazing states that took the leap of faith and legalized this past November. That would be including Maine, Massachusetts, North Carolina, and Florida. One of the events that I did that jumped out me was that in Portland, Lupe Fiasco is doing a concert on 420.
I love
Nice.
Lupe. One of my
Yes.
favorite artists.
And it's
Yeah, Lupe
called-
the truth. Lupe the truth.
Yes. It's called Cloud City, which I'm pretty sure on 420 there's going to be lots of clouds, particularly one large cloud over Washington, D.C., because this is their second run at it. So what's going on in D.C. for 420?
Yeah, what's
Well,
going on in the home front?
You know, the district is in a class in and of itself when it comes to cannabis events. Now, it all starts on 420, at 420, with the 420 Constitutional Cannabis March to the White House.
Ooh.
Big ups to Cheetah and Mr. Bannon. Later in the evening, there's the Up and Smoke Party at Bliss, presented by the High Society. Now, they always put on a good party, but if clubs really aren't your scene, I hear that Elevated Events Group is doing a 420 Canna Crawl.
Oh, I'm so down.
On U Street.
And I heard it was
from
gonna be
Birdie.
awesome.
So I just wanted to give that a shout out. Now, the big event is on Saturday. Coinciding with Earth Day and the March for Science, DC's biggest canna celebration will be the National Cannabis Festival on Saturday. For the second year in a row, RFK Stadium will open its many, many gates for the NCF 17, where thousands are expected to gather to celebrate the end of Prohibition during a full day of food, culture, activism, and music.
Nice.
And when I say music, I'm talking Talib Kweli.
That's another one of my favorite artists.
I'm talking Farside.
Okay.
First time.
And I'm talking DC's very own backyard band. Once again,
They were there last year, and I have to tell you, it was like, I got there, it was like 4 o'clock, right when they hit the stage. They hit off 420, and they hit Hello, and the wind was just blowing right, so the
it's
smoke
perfect.
wasn't coming in your
Yep.
face. And it was like the perfect setting. Like, I never imagined in Washington, D.C., I would be legally sitting outside listening to backyard band, smoking a J.
Right. And the best part about it is the vibe in the area. It was just so chill. Everyone was just enjoying music, enjoying each other, and it's a really great festival. So if you haven't been, I definitely recommend you all go for this second year.
Shout out to
Absolutely.
the ladies behind the NCF. It's apparently women run.
Girl power.
Yes. So shout out to
run
those
the
ladies.
world.
Yes.
Now, as with all cannabis events, you must be 21 and older with a government-issued ID to attend.
Absolutely.
Don't
Okay.
mess it up for the rest of us. Play nicely, follow the rules. Now, links to all of these events and more, more are popping up every day, literally, in this community. And they could be found after the show on the Bud Brunch Facebook page.
Make sure you
so
like our
don't
Facebook
forget
page.
Yeah, don't be a
Like,
ghost follower.
follow,
That's not
share.
cool.
Those are creeps.
All of us on
Yeah.
social media. Do the thing. Push the
Hashtag
button.
grow with Lisa.
Oh yeah.
All right, now up next is our exclusive interview with Nicholas Cunningham,
Yes.
more popularly known as Kush God.
All right.
He is arguably one of the most controversial figures to emerge out of the local DC marijuana scene. And we have some questions about the past, present, and future of the Kush God empire.
Make sure you post your questions on our Facebook page.
Yes.
All right, and now we're going to check out this clip from the Washington Post.
And we're back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bud Brunch. We're getting ready to start our exclusive interview with one of the most controversial cannabis entrepreneurs in the industry. We're here with Nicholas, also known as Mr. Kush Gods. So, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
What's up? Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
How's everything?
Welcome.
Everything's good.
Good, good. So, we're just here to ask you, how's life going now? We're going to ask you a little bit about business. And we just want to know what's going on with the Kush God brand and what's going on with you as a man and as an entrepreneur. A lot of people are talking about your time in jail and all the controversy. Mm-hmm. But what I think the real story is, you've been able to build a very successful brand.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how were you able to do that so quickly?
Well, and that's crazy because that's a question that people really don't ask me. They're really not interested in the innovation side of it, I would say being out there, like really really putting it out there, like in the public, in people's faces, like I wanted to make them comfortable with Kush, with marijuana. And I felt like the best way to do it was to just put it out there. You know, so the loud being all over the front of the cars, you know, that was a major statement.
Definitely
We had people
major.
do artwork out of California, and they was like old graffiti artists. So our logo is like very, very detailed. So I think that's the main factor into everything.
But the underlying story behind the brand, are you educating people? You know, you're giving medicine to people. What really connects you to the people that you're serving?
Well, before we started Kush Guys and before I started everything, like I feel like marijuana is the healing of the nation. So our hashtag is healing of the nation or healing the nation, and that's our motto. So when I started, that's what I aimed to do anyway. But as I went along, like I never knew marijuana treated so many different illnesses until
Right.
I got out there and started doing it, and then people sickle cell and different type of stomach issues, and you know, of course, we know the epilepsy with kids and stuff like that. So it was just interesting to see that, to basically find out from doing the footwork and the groundwork that it basically cures almost anything, which
Yeah.
was kind of brilliant to me. With
Right, and you all are driving your cars literally just around the street, just picking areas to go to. And, you know, in that clip by the Washington Post, the first thing that you say is, "This is what I go through, I'm harassed." So you're out
Yep.
here, you're running your business. What was that like, being harassed by the police all the time?
Well, you know, the harassment didn't start till like after the case. So, you know, before then, it was like, you know, they used to joke with me like, let me get an eighth, let me get a gram, yeah, let me get a quarter. You know, I took pictures with them and everything.
Wow.
So, you know, it was just a statement that the city wanted to make. They made it loud and clear. I think that it's, well, I know that Kush Guys and me is kind of before my time or before the time. And the city just really wasn't ready for it.
Right.
You know, the way I was doing it when we first started. So
Right. And then, you know, just kind of facing all that controversy, you know, I'm sure that's a lot to deal with, you know?
But why you though? Like, why do you think that the city went after you? Because even at the same time, I'm pretty sure I went to a couple parties where, you know, the same thing, where not necessarily in the same manner that you were doing it, but yeah, you spend some money, you buy an item, you get a gift or whatever
Yeah.
that nature. Well, why is it they didn't get locked up? I'm not reading articles about them. What was it you think that it was about you that?
because this is like almost the first time anybody has ever like, I've kind of branded marijuana to a sense. You know, like our logo could easily go on a soda bottle or, you know, anything like that. And it's like a brand within the marijuana industry. And to put it out there like Bud Light trucks or like a post office, you know what I'm saying, is just too much when you really think about the branding aspect of it. There's other people doing it, but they're not doing it on that level to where it's a problem to Big Brother or the higher power or whatever you want to call it.
Right, right. So I know a lot of people are interested about the court cases. And, you know, you landed in jail in your probation. So you were
Yeah,
given
it was crazy.
probation, but yet you still continued with your business and kind of
Right.
publicizing it. Why?
Right. Well, that's because my first lawyer was Matthew Von Freaking, who I found out was actually the owner of Capital Hemp. Adam Eidinger went on the news and said something negative about our business. And so, you know, he came and he wanted to apologize. And he was like, oh, I can't believe Adam said that or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So he was, you know, he offered to represent me. So I ended up getting like some negative advice almost. It was supposed to be set up for me to be able to still operate on a certain level, but it wasn't really understood. It really wasn't communicated well, I guess, between the lawyer and the judge, I would say. On paper, it allowed me to do really what I was doing. But, you know, when I got in court, they was like, oh, man, well, you took a picture in front of the Kush car.
So wait, so are you a victim of malpractice then?
Probably a victim of a few things. I mean, it's just depending on the way you look at it.
Getting bad
I mean,
advice from a lawyer who you're paying and then you wind up in jail, that
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't. That's
Yeah,
not
well, I
good
mean, a
looks.
lot of money was spent, like, you know, they seize the vehicles and they hold them for months.
They took the whole
5
fleet.
Yeah.
Wow.
How many cars did you have in the fleet?
It was 3 at that time. So we had just got the second car.
Okay.
And the second car was another coupe. It was a convertible coupe. They actually had that car longer than I had it.
But a lot of people
Wow.
say it's because you were so flashy, because you were so over the top that you
Yeah.
kind of put the target on yourself. Do you take any blame for
Yeah,
being targeted?
I take some blame for that. I mean, it was out there. It was flashy. It was like it's time now, you know, and that's how I wanted to do it. Like, you know, it's legal. The time is now. You know, we've been fighting for this, and that was the best way I knew. See, people got to understand. I did this organically.
Right.
You understand? Like a lot of times when people never done stuff or in our environment or people that we know things that we want to do, or when we step out there and do it, we learn from experience.
Exactly.
So I've done a lot of learning from experience. I just think that the branding was so good, people really didn't realize that it was mostly all me. You know, it looks like it's a company and it's like 5 people made invested their money into this, and you got
Right.
15 employees and this, that, and the third. But
Right.
it really wasn't like that. It was all me for a long time.
Right. So talking about how your brand kind of scaled up and you started with you, I mean, how did you build your team around you? Was it people within your community? Was it your friends that kind of started to
It was
get
all
on?
it was all people who pretty much born and raised in DC,
Right.
you know. And I got a lot of flack from people like, oh, well, you know, this guy's not from here and he came here and he's taking advantage of our law, and you know, where's the money going? Just crazy questions. Is the money being transferred? Is he paying taxes? Is this, you know, some stuff that's not people's business? But I've always employed people from here, which means, you know, so if they get money, that money automatically goes back into the city, into the community. They got to get gas, they got to get food, they got to, you see what I'm saying? They pay their bills. So I never really understood that portion of the game. But it was all people in DC that was in love with the company that needed work.
Right.
So
you're out here, you're providing jobs,
right.
then you land in jail.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
was
yeah.
that experience like?
It was crazy, man. I wouldn't want anybody to do any time in DC jail.
Can you
I mean,
clear up
it's
why
just-
you actually went to jail? Was it for selling, or was it a probation violation, or why?
No,
were you?
it was basically like I was just supposed to go to jail. It was almost like it was a plan, and the plan had to be
Wow.
fulfilled. And
I heard all kinds of crazy rumors. I heard that you were like parked in front of schools, and that's why, you know, they
nah,
targeted
we've
you.
never been parked in front of any schools. I don't even know where that ever came from. We always parked in places where it was a lot of foot traffic. So I don't know how many schools is on blocks with foot traffic, but hey, no schools. It was a violation of my probation. See, they gave me a lot of terms and conditions in my probation that a lot of people don't, rapists don't have, murderers don't have.
Right.
I mean, not only did I have to report, like, you can't do this. I was the first person that couldn't participate in Initiative 71. People didn't even know that. They told me, you can't get nobody no marijuana nowhere. We don't want to see you with no weed nowhere. So it was just crazy. And those terms and conditions, with me being interviewed and us, you know, Snoop Dogg magazine and, you know, Forbes and all these interviews and stuff like that, it was almost impossible for me to really uphold the terms of the agreement, you know. And I was kind of arrogant, I won't lie, because when I first got out, I apologized to the city, to the mayor, police department.
Right.
I mean, I was kind of arrogant. I could have been a little more responsible.
Was that terms of your release or anything, or was that voluntary?
They never told me that I couldn't get on the news. They never told me that you can't say this on this, which really was a violation of my. I mean, I could say what I want to say. We all know that the news, they edit stuff out. They, you know, they do it how they want to do it.
So let me ask you this. So, you know, as DC is starting to, our cannabis community is emerging, they're trying to regulate it. Was this an opportunity for them to make it right? That now that we have an entrepreneur who's operating in the gray area, this is an opportunity for us to make it right.
Absolutely. I feel like, see, the thing is like, even a lot of people around me that I know, you know, sometimes when you do stuff, especially coming from us and our background and what we look like and what we represent, I represent you when I go out here. I represent a lot of people in here look like me. But we're not used to us having something.
Right.
So we look at when somebody is successful or something happens, we look at it like it's easy or he stumbled upon this, but a lot of people don't know a lot of education that went into this. I did a lot of traveling. I lived in California. I lived in Colorado. I trimmed marijuana. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of things to acquire the knowledge. I read books, some stuff to help me with business. But it's just it's a long story. I wish we had more time to talk.
We got a question. So is activism going to be more present, I guess, as far as your business model? Like, are you going to be a little bit more active as far as, really pushing for legalization? And things
I'm about to be active in a whole lot of things.
Tell us about
not
it.
just marijuana. I mean, my time away, I just like they want to ask me political questions now. I really want to get more into politics. I feel like that they could have went harder on me. They could have, the prosecution, the government could have asked for more time. The judge could have gave me more time than he gave me than they asked for. And I feel like the city they know that I have potential. And they really want to see what I'm going to do with that potential. So I'm going to show them.
So what type of laws or regulations would you like to see put in place now that would help cannabis entrepreneurs?
I think the original law was better than people was making it if they would have just let Kush Gods be and let whatever was happening just keep happening. And then maybe ask me some questions about regulation, maybe have a meeting with me and figure out what I knew about, the dosage of milligrams that's decent enough for everybody to deal with, or what I knew about this. I felt like I could have helped put more regulation on top of what was going on. When we switched things up, everybody was on when I first got locked up the way I was doing things, but after that I changed up things like dramatically. But nobody ever talked about that. Right. It's a lot of people out here that's like, well, you can come buy this ashtray and I'm gonna give you this marijuana, and it's really no different than what we were doing from the beginning. They're still asking for a freaking donation. So I appreciate everything that's happened because I'm better now.
Right, exactly. So do you find yourself reading more about laws and getting your own little law degree a little bit? I
stay on the laws. I was on the laws before I got here.
Right.
That's why I came. I was on the laws from day one. I'm like, man, that's perfect for what I want to do. Right. I'm out of here. Plus, my father was born and raised here, so I knew the city. I used to travel here back and forth when I was young. So, yep. I'm always on the laws.
So do we have any questions from the audience or any other?
Well, we have a Facebook question.
Okay, Facebook.
Facebook wants to know what you thought about the controversy in the rec page as far as, your interactions. Because it was a lot of controversy when you first came on the scene, being from out of town.
On the what now?
On the DC recreational page, Facebook page. Yeah. There was a lot of controversy.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was understood, you know what I'm saying, with what I was doing. I think what the industry, a lot of us were wanted to get into this industry. I just think that the way I came out was like,
They weren't ready?
I don't think they was ready. And, a lot of stuff come with that when you're the first person to do something and the media come at you like that. You're all over the news, at least 1 million people seeing you in the area. You're going to have people that don't understand it. A lot of people, like, I've been interviewed and people's like, almost like, I didn't like you until I interviewed you. It's like, okay, damn, they really don't understand. So it's us as people. So it was interesting to see. I tried to stay away from it as much as I could. That's very hard with.
Yeah. How did that affect your family when you have people talking about your livelihood online?
It's been a gift and a curse, man. Kush Guys has been a gift and a curse. It definitely affects my family. I think that I've made it look much easier than what it is. So people that see it, that's on the outside, of people around me, they really don't get you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the way they put me out there on the news was like I was a drug dealer on the corner selling crack. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got children. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it really wasn't cool. And then I got family here too. I got cousins, and they doing nice, good things. And it caused separate. I felt like some of my family was more distant from me than they might have. It's been a lot to deal with, but we're still here.
So, another question I have, I teach a lot of people about entrepreneurship, starting a business, and kind of to your point, they don't know how much work goes behind building a brand and building a business. How many hours would you say you spent a day or a week building the Kush God brand? How much work do you think you put into it?
Most of it was mental work. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Most of it was mental work. But I would say at least, I mean, you got to be thinking at least you pulling your normal 8-hour shift at your normal job.
Right.
I mean, no less than that. That's how much this is on your mind, and you making moves to do it if you want to do it. You know, I set high goals for myself when I was young. You know, it got a point in my life where I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, I expected to be here or be there. So I got to a point, I was like, man, I need to own something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to put something together that's mine. I don't want to keep doing things how I've been doing it. You know, I done had stuff happen in my life where I didn't take advantage of it. You know, so it was just time to make a move, and I just put it all on the line. A lot of people ain't really ready to do that. We drive these cars. I had to drive these cars all the way through across country, through Utah, Nebraska, places that damn near hang you if you got weed.
What other cities are you guys in?
Right now, we've just been based in Washington, D.C. We started out in L.A., but that was only maybe like a few months before the laws changed. And so we basically, everything's been done. It's been here.
Awesome. So what's in the future for the Kush Gods brand, and is there anything else that you want to get out to the public?
Well, we've developed a new exotic hemp juice. It's got passion fruit, which really is an exotic fruit. It's one of the most expensive fruits you can't even find and shit in Walmart. Really. So, it's got hemp has so many benefits. So we're gonna do a lot more educating people on marijuana, on hemp. This product gonna allow me and the whole team to be able to do that. I mean, you talking about calcium, heart disease. It help prevent a lot of cancer from starting in the body, weight loss. And I got a couple samples here. I got like 4, so I'm gonna pass them over to y'all taste.
We can split that thing. No play. Awesome.
You gotta shake them. You gotta shake well.
Where can people find you or get more information about the Kush Gods and the Kush Gods movement?
They shut down our Instagram. I don't know why. I think somebody was hating and reporting. Yeah, they did that while I was locked up. I was real pissed off about that because we put in a lot of work on the Instagram. Them was 10,000 real followers. Them wasn't nothing that was paid for, and it was a real nice platform to get you know what I'm saying, to get stuff out, to get music, to get info out. So I was very disappointed about that. But right now it's KushGods101, the Gmail. That's the best way to contact us, through the email. Right.
All right, guys, you have heard it from the man himself, the Kush Gods. He is free and back in business. So check him out. Hit him up on the Gmail that he gave us. What was that?
KushGods101.
KushGods101 at gmail.com. Don't forget to like our Facebook page. And I know you all are impatiently waiting for Saleh's performance. So coming up after the break, we're going to wrap up the Bud Brunch with a live performance from Saleh of On Life and Death. Keep it tuned. It's the Bud Brunch.
All right.
What's up, everybody? My name is Lay with On Life and Death. Play a song I wrote for y'all called The Feeling of Life. then they would have you know they'll doubt you. But without you, there'd be no one to start to show. There's nothing they can say to slow us down. There's nothing they can do to stop us now. Feel me, do you feel me? You more than you've ever let you know how to make the night explode. There's nothing they can say to slow us down. There's nothing they can do to stop us now. We're so bright, so free, so you. I'm so me, it goes deep. You know right, have the feeling of life. So help me help you be right, baby. You can be my girls, my brothers, my sisters. Yes, we rule the world. There's nothing they can say to slow us down. Let nothing they do stop us now. You're so bright and so free. You're so you. I'm so me. It goes deep. You know I have the feeling of life. Bright, so free, you're so you, I'm so me, it goes deep, you know right. So bright and so free, you're so you, I'm so me, it goes deep, you know right. I'm alive. Thank you. My name's Lay with On Life and Death. You can check me out on IG, onlife_@death, and Facebook, facebook.com/the2ends. And a lot of different type of music. Pleasure to be here with y'all.
Wow.
That was fantastic.
That
Excellent.
was absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saleh.
Thank
Yes.
you. So I think we had an excellent show.
Yep. We did a
That
good
was
job
awesome.
for our
We
first
did.
one.
First time.
Thank you to Kush Guys for appearing today.
Thank you to
you very
Saleh
much.
for the soundtrack. Guys, please like us on Facebook at The Bud Brunch. If you want a chance at performing or think you'd be an interesting guest or have samples for us, like Kush God.
Oh, yes, we love the samples.
Email us at thebudbrunch@gmail.com. Again, like us on Facebook. And thank you for tuning in to our first episode. Yay! And we'll see you on 420.
Yes,
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.